Okay, all right. The recording has begun. Yeah, so yeah, there's lots of information in the videos, and it's really good information though, right? This one's about real life, right? When you get out of high school and stuff, have to own your own place, have to pay your own bills. That's what it's all about. Okay. So we're gonna talk about going on this next week. They're going to be talking about paying for college and financial institutions. Uh, Good question. You said, what unit are we on? Let me screen share with you real quick so you can see our little calendar here. All right. If you can see my screen, will you give me a green check mark real quick so I know you can see that? Okay. Okay, I'm getting green check marks, so I feel that I'm good now. Okay, so this week we want to be on lessons 6 and 7. We want to get those things done. Okay, so it looks like there's 2 quizzes, 6.15 and 6.16 in lesson 6, and then kind of lesson 7 you got 7:17, 7:18, 7:19. Okay, and you can kind of go back through this calendar and kind of see here what exactly was due each week. So if you go into the class, hopefully it didn't log me out because I've been working on other stuff here. So right now we should be on Unit 2, Lesson 6, and then it'd be Unit 3, Lesson 7. Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to catch up though. Like, the videos aren't that long. People said there's a lot of information in them, but you can watch them, retake the quizzes as many times as you want. Okay, so you'll get there. Don't fret. I'd like you to stay on pace with me, and you'll notice that every Monday is when I put in those zeros. So if you didn't do what keep pace throughout the week, those zeros will hit you, and then you'll probably be getting a text from me or whatever saying, "Hey, I need you to get the ball on the roll." Never mind. I can't even say that phrase. Does anybody know what that phrase is? Yeah, it's slipping my mind right now. Does financial institutions include trade schools? So we're going to be talking about college. Trade schools would be included in college. Okay, get the ball rolling. Okay, thanks, Seth. Somebody has to keep me straight here, man. Yeah, so financial institutions are going to be more like where you keep your money. Okay, so we're going to be talking about 2 parts today. One is about paying for college, and college can be any kind of like technical training, university, whatever you feel like there. Yep. And then financial institutions, we're going to talk about where you're going to put your money into, like banks and credit unions, a little bit maybe the difference between the two. Okay, so that's really going to be what today's about. Okay, this is where you should be, and this is what's upcoming, as you can kind of see right here. So weeks 1, 2, 3, you should have all of these quizzes done by now. So looks like 14 quizzes you guys should have done. Okay, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quizzes this week. Some have a little bit more in them, just depending on what we have. But I do have a week at the very end of the block here. That's kind of a catch-up week, okay? We've got a lot of stuff to get through. They're supposed to teach this class in a semester, and we only teach it in a block. So, yeah, you'll get caught up, though. Yep. Good to go. All right. So, how do you pay for college? Okay? So, out there, does anybody have a plan to go to college out there? And if so, do you know what institution you're going to? Okay, so we got some question marks. That's all right. If you're thinking about going to a college or a technical college or some kind of training after high school, we got anybody out there? There has to be a couple. I'm considering to go some kind of school after high school. Just don't know what though. Okay. All right. Cool. So somebody said automotive. Very good. So there's some really cool programs out there for automotive. I don't know if you've looked into like It's called Wyotech. Or you can just get regular ones at your regular tech college. They also have some up at the university as well. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. Okay, but the thing is, how do you pay for it, right? Tuition. When I went to Weber State, so up like in the Ogden area. So I went to Weber State. I think tuition was $2,500 a semester. So and they're the cheapest like in the state. Now Weber State is somewhere around $3,500 to $4,000 a semester for in-state tuition. Okay, so that's a lot of money. So how do I get the money to pay for that? Okay, there's a lot of different things, and you'll want to go and fill out certain forms as we go forward. Okay, as you're thinking about this, your counselors and stuff will help you pay for it. So this is how people usually pay for it. There's scholarships and grants. Somebody said, I'm not going to be able to eat and go to school. Oh yeah, you will. You'll be able to find a way through it. So that's what I'm teaching you. I'm going to teach you how to possibly get some free money. I wouldn't say free money, but money to help you go through college and make your life better, and go that way, okay? So scholarships and grants, okay? 30% of the people that do it go for that. Student borrowing, so that's like student loans. This 32, I don't know what that is. They never mention it, but I think that's just kind of other. Other student income, so people paying their way through school. Borrowing from parents, and then relatives and friends, okay? And I think I've hit like on all of those different aspects as I was going through college to try to make it through it. I got some scholarships, I got some grants, I took out some student loans. There's a lot of things that kind of went into it. So here's the different things you can do, okay? Veterans benefits, so if your parents were in the military, they may have some benefits that actually transfer to their children. Some employers, as you're working, they'll pay for like tuition reimbursement. Institution waivers, so if you work at the university, sometimes they'll waive your tuition and you can go there for free, so that's a good thing. Different internships, you can, I've done some internships where they pay you money and then that can pay for your tuition. Federal work study, so you have things like Job Corps, things like that help you out. Different student loans, scholarships. You've probably all heard of scholarships. There's so many out there that you guys can apply for. You just got to apply for them. And then there's also grants, okay, which is money given to the federal government to get you through school. I've done most of those, actually. It's kind of good, okay? So there's something called FAFSA, okay? So FAFSA, we're gonna talk about it, and I really want you to, if you can get your parents to email me that you talked about FAFSA from their email address, I'll give you some extra credit, okay? So, but I want you to talk about what FAFSA is, okay? FAFSA is Federal Student Aid, okay? It stands for like, we'll get to the page or whatever. So there's a website. And what you do, you must file for it each year. Seniors, so do we have any seniors in this class? Any of you guys seniors? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we got a couple seniors here. Okay, very good. So you guys can start applying for this right now, okay? So you can apply for your senior year, October 1st, and they'll give you this, what's called a FSA ID for your parent and student. And so then you can apply for grants, scholarships, student loans, and that's kind of the first step to see if you can kind of qualify to get something, right? Even if it is, you know, just a little bit of money, that helps towards that. So this is where you go. Okay, this is what it stands for. It's Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And so this will help you guys as you're wanting to get different certificates, different degrees, everything like that, okay? So this is what it looks like, okay? So you're going to go to this website. So if you want some extra credit, this is for only the people that showed up today, okay? If you go and you can get your parents to email me. My email is zhancock@utahvirtual.org. Email me saying that you spoke about FAFSA. I'll give you guys some extra credit. Okay? And the reason I'm doing that is because it's important to be able to see what you can do to get money to pay for college, right? So I would look at filling out a form as soon as you're about ready to graduate from high school. Okay, so seniors in here, I would really look at going in and doing this and see if you get any money out of it. Okay, there's a lot of different information you have to go over. A lot of it with your parent as well. So that's why I'm saying I need your parents to email me, because they're going to have to fill this out with you. Okay, it's going to have a lot about their tax, how much they made on their taxes last year, all that kind of stuff, their social security numbers, that kind of stuff. So a lot of information. So I want, if you go and have your parents email me that you talked about FAFSA, I'll give you some extra credit. Okay. All right. Any questions on FAFSA or how to get funding to go to school after high school? You're lagging real bad. I'm sorry. I saw you log off and back on. It's probably the storm a little bit. You can always watch the recording after. I'll post it right to the announcement board. But any questions about how to get funding to go to college after? No? Okay. If you do, this is something that your counselor would love to help you with. I'll help you with it. I mean, getting money to go to college and making more money. Remember how we talked about last time, if you have some college, you're going to make like $10,000 plus more dollars a year than somebody that doesn't have. And I'm not just saying regular college. I'm talking about tech school, certificates, that kind of stuff, welding certificates, all of that. Okay, you're going to make a lot more than you are with just a high school diploma. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, let's move on to financial institutions. Okay, who out there, give me a green check if you do. Give me a green check if you have a bank account. Some type of bank or savings account. All right. We got quite a few out there that have bank or savings accounts. Good. I guess if you don't have one, where do you keep all your money? Do you hide it under your mattress? Put it in a sock? So people used to do that. I don't know. They don't trust these financial institutions, as they're called. Okay. All right, good. So a lot of you guys have that. So, foam finger, you put in your foam finger? Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some rights to write on the board real quick. But can you write the difference between a bank and a credit union? If you know any differences. Okay. So come right here. You can use the tools. Just give you privileges to do that. The differences between a bank and a credit union. Very good. Thanks for those that are starting to get out there and type a little bit. Yep, right now we're doing what's the difference between a bank and a credit union. Okay? Couple people writing there. Good job, guys. Okay, I'm just going to read some of these off real quick. So somebody says, I'm pretty sure that banks don't do much with credit cards. Well, credit unions are all about credit cards. Okay, that's a good guess. So banks hold your money. Okay, do credit unions hold money? Okay, so I said credit unions are non-profit organizations that exist to serve their members, like banks, credit unions accept deposits. Okay, yeah. So this one's a good one right here. Spot on. So basically, credit unions, I wouldn't say they're non-profit. They are for profit, but they basically, their members are who the ones that own the credit union. Okay, a bank can be like a publicly traded company. So if you think of some banks out there, can you think of any banks? You can put that in the chat real quick. Think of any banks. What kind of banks do you see around? Okay, Golden West. Is Golden West a bank or a credit union? Zanes. I'm not sure if I know that. Credit union. Okay, good. Yeah. So you have Golden West Credit Union. I do a lot of banking at America First Credit Union. I do bank at Golden West too, right? And it's funny that we call it banking because it's like the same. So we also have Bank of America. Wells Fargo's a bank. Bank of Utah. Okay, so there's a lot of ones out there. They all kind of serve the same purpose. There are some different changes there, okay? So here's just some certain ones you see in Utah, like Far West Bank, First Security, SunWest, U.S. Bank. Let's see here, what else? Zions Bank, Heritage Bank, Bank of Southern Utah, okay? And then, oh, it's kind of like the same thing. Okay. Anyways, but those are some different institutions. So this is kind of our last page here. But here's kind of no, I got to go back to the between bank and credit union. So credit unions, sometimes they have a lot lower interest rates because they serve their members, right? Credit unions don't seem to have as many fees as banks do, but banks are bigger and can lend higher amounts of money on some things. So we need purposes for both, right? So there's different institutions. So when you're thinking about going out there, do you want to do a credit union, bank? And I wouldn't say keep all your money in one spot either. Okay, so that's something to kind of think about. Let's talk a little bit about checking and savings accounts real quick. Okay, sometimes checking accounts have a monthly fee, and that's a thing with banks too. Banks usually charge fees for having certain things, aka don't hide your money in a pillowcase. Okay, like it. Some checking accounts have you have minimum balance, so usually they're only like $1 or so, so that's not bad. You can get interest, so you can gain money by putting your money in both a checking or savings account. If you go over the amount you have in there, you get fees. You can have some protection on checking accounts if you go over. You'll also have some ATM fees if you're not going to the right, like if I bank at America First and I go to Zions Bank and take some money out, they're going to charge me a fee for using that ATM. Internet banking, all of them have really. So they're really pretty similar. So when you're thinking about putting your money in a certain place, kind of think the difference between those two. Do I want to put it in a bank or do I want to put it in a credit union? Okay? And if you already have it in one of those, think about why you have it in there and maybe what other benefits you might have by getting it in there. Okay? All right, so I really believe that is the end of it. Those are the things we need to talk about. So I'm going to come back here real quick. What's due this week is quizzes that have a 6 in front of them and a 7. Okay, so you got 5 quizzes that you'll want to get done by this week. Okay, all right. Any questions? Feel free to send me a message. And then remember the extra credit if you want to. If your parent emails me that you guys talked about FAFSA or federal aid, I will give you some extra credit. So thank you guys for your time today. Appreciate it.